My senior brother and I started a company together. We spent 5 years polishing a single game, and in the end, we sold it for 80 million yuan. I wanted to share the good news with my fiancé right away, but my senior brother, 7 years older than me, clamped a hand firmly over my phone. Don't tell anyone we sold the company. Tell people the business couldn't keep going, that it folded. I froze. I got 40 million from the sale. The buyer even offered both of us an annual salary of 500,000 yuan plus a 5% profit share to stay on for game operations and maintenance. You want me to pretend I'm broke? My senior brother looked at me gravely. Trust me. Especially when it comes to your fiancé. It never hurts to keep your guard up before you get married. My senior brother had just come out of a failed marriage. We'd built this business side by side all these years, and he'd always looked out for me. I trusted him. I slipped my phone back into my pocket. Less than 10 minutes later, a message came through from my fiancé. Fu-chun, I've been thinking. 288,000 yuan for the bride price is too little. Wai Zhou grew up with me. He's sick and needs 300,000 yuan for treatment. I can't just leave him hanging. Make the bride price 58,800 yuan instead. My senior brother and I ran a company together. We spent 5 full years refining one game, and finally sold it for a staggering 80 million yuan. When 40 million yuan hit my bank account, I counted the zeros after the 4 over and over, my hands trembling. I double-checked again and again to make sure there was no mistake. I was so excited I nearly jumped out of my skin. I rushed over and hugged Zhou Lin, my steady, dependable senior brother, 7 years my senior. Senior brother, you were right. We don't have the capital for proper marketing and user acquisition. The second we launch, the big gaming giants will churn out better, more polished copies of our game in no time. Our game would just die a slow death. Selling it to a major studio is way better. We walk away with a fortune and a job offer on top of it. We hit the jackpot this time. My senior brother smiled back at me, just as happy. I let go of him and paced back and forth, buzzing with excitement. All I could think about was luxury cars, a spacious downtown apartment. For 5 years, my senior brother and I had only paid ourselves 10,000 yuan a month each. Working until the wee hours was routine. We never dared slow down. Vacations and trips? We didn't even let ourselves dream about them. During the hardest stretch, we'd even dipped into my parents' retirement savings. No, I have to tell Nayanian right away. She's been asking when we can afford a nice apartment. For 5 years of building this company, my girlfriend Shen Neon had stood quietly by me. She never complained. On all those nights I worked past midnight, I'd come back to our rental building, look up, and see the light on in our apartment. It always warmed my heart. I thought about how lucky I was to have someone waiting up for me every night in this cold big city. I swore to myself I'd never let Shen Neon suffer for even a day. I just pulled out my phone when my senior brother grabbed my wrist, his expression turning serious. Fu-chun, you're still young. Flashing your wealth like that never ends well these days. Don't tell anyone we sold the company. Tell everyone the business failed, that it went under. I froze. I got 40 million from the sale. The buyer offered both of us 500,000 a year plus 5% profit share. You want me to pretend I'm poor? My senior brother looked at me, completely earnest. Trust me. Especially with your fiancé. It never hurts to be cautious before you tie the knot. My senior brother had just gone through a bitter divorce. We'd built this company together all these years, and he'd always taken care of me. I trusted him. I put my phone away without another word. Less than 10 minutes later, my fiancé sent me a message. Fu-chun, I've been thinking. 288,000 yuan for the bride price is too little. Wai Zhou grew up with me, we're like brother and sister. He needs at least 300,000 yuan for medical bills, and I can't abandon him. Make the bride price 588,000 yuan instead. Reading those words hit me like a thunderbolt. I went completely numb. An extra 300,000 in bride price. To pay for her childhood sweetheart's medical bills? I could not wrap my head around the fact that my girlfriend would say something like that. I don't remember how I got home. I only remember my senior brother clapping me gently on the shoulder and saying, Fu-chun, finding out what someone's really like before you marry them is a lot luckier than finding out after. Walk away clean. It's for the best. I knew exactly what he meant. My senior brother had been working late every night this past year, only for his marriage to fall apart behind his back. He'd spent months gathering evidence, fighting the divorce, splitting assets, battling for custody. It had dragged on for over half a year. It had worn him down completely, left him gaunt and exhausted. When I got home, Shen Nian wasn't alone. Her childhood sweetheart was there too. Even my future mother-in-law had shown up. Zi Weizhou, her childhood friend, stood up from the sofa the second he saw me. His eyes were red and puffy. Brother Chun, you're back? Sister Nian said you didn't reply to her message. Are you mad that she asked you to pay for my treatment? I know it's all my fault. I never should have gotten sick. I'm the one making things hard for you both. Mother Shen looked absolutely heartbroken at how wronged Zed Weizhou seemed. She pulled him protectively behind her and glowered at me. Fuchan Weizhou grew up without a mother. I practically raised him myself. That boy has always been kind and timid. Don't you go scaring him. Looking at Mother Shen fawning over him like that, I almost laughed out loud. I didn't say a single word, Auntie. How did I scare him? Mother Shen was caught off guard. She shot me a displeased look. Fuchun, I'm not here to give you a hard time. That boy has had a hard life. His father raised him all alone. He was just starting to make something of himself. And now this illness. What are we supposed to do as elders? Stand by and do nothing? Auntie, I said. What exactly is wrong with Huzhou? Which hospital is he at? Who's his attending doctor? Has a treatment plan been confirmed? The living room went dead silent for a beat. Mother Shen blinked, then glanced questioningly at Zi Weizhou. A flicker of malice crossed Zi Weizhou's eyes, gone as quickly as it came. Tears welled up in his eyes. Auntie, Sister Nian, forget the treatment. I don't want the money. If Brother Chun doesn't want to help, don't make him. At that, Mother Shen turned back to me, her face darkening. Fu Chun, what are you asking all these questions for? I answered calmly, nothing. I just know a few doctors. I thought I could ask around for him. We don't need you to ask around. Mother Shen raised her voice sharply. Who can handle his own medical care? All you need to do is pay up, Mom. Shen. Neon grabbed her arm quickly. Calm down. But Mother Shen was already on a roll. Her eyes reddened, her voice thick with tears. Fu Chun, be honest with yourself. What has Neon ever gotten out of these 5 years with you? That no-good company of yours hasn't turned a profit in 5 years. You can't even buy her a decent handbag. Has she ever complained? Now we're asking for an extra 300,000 for the bride price, and you look like we're asking for the moon. Where's your sense of decency? My own expression darkened. It was true I'd never bought Shen Nian any expensive designer bags. But out of my 10,000 yuan monthly salary, 8,000 went straight to her every month. Shen Yue worked at an art studio, making 6,500 yuan a month herself. I never once asked her to spend that money on household expenses. Every single thing she ate, lived in, used, who paid for all of it? I turned to Shen Nian. Do you feel the same way? Shen Nian wouldn't meet my eye, looking guilty. She hesitated, then said, Fu Chun, I've always seen Weizhou as a little brother. We can't just let him get sick and do nothing, can we? If we don't help pay for his treatment and something happens to him, I'll never be able to live with myself. I stared at Shen Nian and suddenly she felt like a total stranger. Like I was seeing her for the very first time. Back in college, everyone said the art academy was full of beautiful girls. The local art academy was right next to our campus. The first time I went over there, I saw Shen Nian sitting by the lake, painting from life. She was wearing a white shirt and a pair of faded jeans, her hair tied back in a ponytail. Her brush moved softly across the paper. Sunlight filtered through the dappled leaves onto the side of her face. Add in her graceful figure and those big, expressive eyes. I was absolutely captivated the second I laid eyes on her. My heart skipped a beat. I started going over to the art academy all the time. Once, when she'd done a quick sketch, I offered her 2,000 yuan for it. She'd waved her hands in a panic. Said it was just a doodle, not worth anything. If I liked it, I could have it for free. The more flustered she got, the more special I thought she was. I got her a few gifts in return, and naturally asked her out to dinner. She picked a Malatang shop right by the academy gate. She ate that 25 yuan bowl of spicy noodles like it was the best thing she'd ever tasted. I took her shopping, to the movies, to karaoke, to the aquarium. She always said I was spending too much, told me to save my money. Later, when my senior brother and I started our company and rented a place off campus, she came over a few times. After I asked her again and again, she ended up moving in. I'll admit she was really good to me all those years. Even though I gave her 8,000 a month. She was the one who bought all my clothes, my shoes, even my underwear. Sometimes I'd take off a pair of socks and Shen Nian would wash them right away. When I worked late and didn't come home, she'd pack up dinner and ride her little electric scooter all the way to the office to bring it to me. At night, she always liked to curl up next to me in bed, quiet and soft as a kitten. Earlier this year, our parents had met. We'd settled on a bride price of 288,000 yuan, with the engagement set for the end of the year. Back then, I'd thought spending the rest of my life with her, quiet and steady, would be perfect. Lately, her childhood sweetheart had gotten sick and come to the city hospital for treatment. Shen Nian went to visit him every other day. I never said a word about it. I just never expected she'd ask something so ridiculous, an extra 300,000 in bride price, to pay for his medical bills. Now, 300,000 was nothing. I could afford 3 million easy. But nobody's money grows on trees. Why should I foot the bill for her childhood sweetheart's illness? With that thought, the last shred of hope I had for Shen Nian shattered completely. I looked at Shen Nian, who wouldn't meet my gaze, and let out a cold laugh. Look, Shen Nian, if you want to help your childhood sweetheart, I won't stop you. But why on earth should I be the one paying for it? Shen Nian lifted her head sharply, as if my words had stung her. Fu-chan, what did you just say? I said, why should I? My voice wasn't loud, but every word was clear and sharp. Your childhood sweetheart is sick. You care about him. You want to help. That's your business. Fine by me. Use your own money, or your parents' money. Help him all you want. But why should I throw 300,000 yuan into someone else's mess? What gives you the right to ask that of me? The living room fell completely silent. Mother Shen opened her mouth, but for a moment she couldn't find a single word to argue back. Huizhou sat on the sofa, tears glistening at the corners of his eyes. He kept his head down, fingers fisting his trousers so tight his nails dug into the fabric. Shen Nian looked at me, her voice trembling. Fu-chan, don't be so cruel. What do you mean, someone else's mess? I told you, Huizhou isn't just anyone. He's like a brother to me. I looked at her with mocking disdain. Your real brother? Shen Nian's breath caught. We grew up together. Then his dad can borrow the money. He can figure it out himself, work for it, take out a bank loan. I stared her down, speaking each word slowly and deliberately. Why should I pay? She bit her lip and stared at me wide-eyed. Because we're family, aren't we? Your money is my money. We are not family, I scoffed. You haven't gotten the bride price, we haven't registered the marriage, we haven't had the wedding. Let's be clear right now, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend. Nothing more. At that, Mother Shen exploded. Fu-chan, what is that supposed to mean? Are you calling off the wedding? Let me tell you, where else are you going to find a girl as good as my Nianian? I've heard it all from her. That no-good company of yours hasn't turned a profit in 5 years. She's suffered with you for 5 years with nothing to show for it, and now you're saying you are not even family? That's right. We're not married, I said. So I'm not paying that 300,000. Mother Shen's face turned bright red with rage. Her fingers shook as she pointed it at me. Huizhou stood up from the sofa in a panic. He walked over to Mother Shen and tugged at her sleeve. Auntie, forget it. Don't fight over me. Brother Chun is right. This is my problem. I shouldn't have bothered you. It's all my fault. He paused, then turned to me with a hurt, wronged look on his face. I'm sorry, Brother Chun. It makes me feel terrible that Sister Nian is fighting with you over this. I won't get treatment. I mean it. I'll leave right now. Whatever happens, happens. Whether the first live or die, it's none of your business. With that, he turned to leave, but Shen Nian grabbed him and pulled him back. Shen Nian's face was dark with fury as she looked at me. Fu Chun, you see that? You're driving Weizhou away. That useless company of yours hasn't made a profit in 5 years. Sell it if you have to. You can come up with an extra 300,000, can't you? Can't you just be the bigger person? Do you have to drive Weizhou to his death? Mother Shen chimed in from the side, her tone reproachful. Exactly. Fu Chun, you're a grown man. Can't you act like one? Looking at Shen Nian seething with rage, I suddenly laughed. The Shen Nian I used to know was gentle and thoughtful. I never would have guessed she'd be this unreasonable when it came to her childhood sweetheart. I was glad I'd listened to my senior brother and hadn't told her about the sale right away. If I'd only seen her true colors after we were married, it would have cost me so much more, emotionally and financially. My laugh rang out harshly in the suddenly silent living room. All three of them turned to look at me. What are you laughing at, Fu Chun? Shen Nian frowned. Nothing, I said. I'll say it again. Go ask whoever you want. I'm not paying. Shen Nian was shaking with anger. She stared daggers at me and snapped. Fu Chun, have you had enough of this little tantrum? I just want you to help Weizhou. In the end, I'll be yours. Anyway, what more could you want? Let me tell you, you will pay that money whether you want to or not. Otherwise, the wedding's off. We're done. I shrugged indifferently. Fine, we're done. You said it, not me. Shen Nian was completely stunned. It never crossed her mind that I'd agree so easily. She stared at me wide-eyed, utterly disbelieving. Fu Chun, you're serious? I looked at her confused. Aren't you the one who said if I don't pay the wedding's off? I'm not paying 300,000. Do whatever you want, Shen. Nian froze for 2 seconds. Then her eyes welled up with red, angry tears. She glared at me, barely holding back her fury. Fu Chun, I've been with you for 5 whole years, and you're really breaking up with me over 300,000 yuan. I looked even more confused. Wait, you're the one who said we should break up. I just agreed. What, is there a problem with that? The living room fell dead silent again. Even Mother Shen was taken aback. She stepped forward, her tone noticeably softer. Fu Chun, how can you just break up with her like that? You're a man. Can't you just give in a little for Nianian? I looked at Mother Shen and said nothing. Shen Nian stood there, her chest heaving with anger. Fu Chun, don't push me, I laughed. Shen Nian, get this straight. Who's pushing who here? Shen Nian went pale at my retort, completely unraveling. Fine, fine, you're a monster, Fu Chun. 5 years. I gave you 5 years of my life, and you won't even add 300,000 to the bride price. Fine, we're done. Some lousy company that hasn't made a cent in 5 years. Big deal. I can do better without you. Don't you dare come crawling back to me later. Mom, Weizhou, let's go. Mother Shen tried to say something else, but Shen Nian dragged her out by the arm. Before he left, Weizhou shot me a vicious, venomous glare. Shen Nian slammed the door shut behind her with a loud bang. I never would have guessed my gentle, sweet girlfriend would turn into this ugly, unrecognizable person the second her childhood sweetheart was involved. Watching her leave, I was surprised to find I didn't feel sad at all. If anything, I felt lighter than I had in years. Less than 10 minutes later, my senior brother called. The second I picked up, he got straight to the point. You broke up? Yeah, he laughed on the other end. Good. Better to find out what someone's really like before you marry them. You're young, you're rich now. You could have any woman you want. I'll send you the address. Come out for drinks. Sure thing. After hanging up, Zhou Lin turned to his sister, who was all dolled up beside him, and said with a smirk, Your precious brother Fu Chun just broke up. Happy now? When he gets here, I'll get him good and drunk. I already booked a room for you two. The rest is up to you. At her brother's blunt words, Zhou Nansheng's cheeks flushed bright red. Brother what? What are you talking about? I don't have a thing for Fu Chun. Stop making things up. Zhou Lin burst out, laughing. He leaned in closer, grinning mischievously at her big bright eyes, his voice rising playfully with each word. Really? 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 If that's true, I'll call Fu Chun right now and tell him not to come. Zhou Nansheng snatched his phone away, her face scarlet as she glared at him huffily. Brother. Zhou Lin leaned back, still holding the phone, his shoulders shaking with laughter. All right, I'm just teasing you. You're my little sister? Do you think I can't tell what you're thinking? You went to a top university. You could have gotten an internship at any big tech company. Why'd you insist on coming to our tiny little studio? Zhou Nansheng hung her head, the tips of her ears bright red. I just think your games are cool. Way more fun than the boring stuff the big studios put out. Zhou Lin raised an eyebrow, but didn't call her bluff. Theft. Keep telling yourself that. For the record, Fu Chun kinda likes you too, you know? Whenever you wear a short skirt, his eyes keep drifting to your legs. Don't think I haven't noticed. Zhou Nansheng's head shot up, her eyes sparkling. Brother, are you serious? Zhou Lin snorted. Of course I'm serious. Do you think I don't know the guy? And you're my sister. You're gorgeous. You've got a great figure. You're prettier than that Shen Neon girl, younger too, and you've never even dated anyone. It makes total sense he'd be into you. Fu Chun's a good guy. He'd never cheat on someone. He paused and went on. I've taken him out to KTV for business a few times. Never seen him do anything out of line. Right now he's young, rich, handsome, and a good person. It'd be a waste if a guy like that didn't end up my brother-in-law. Listen to me, you lock him down tonight. If some other woman snatches him up first, you'll be sorry. Zhou Nansheng's face burned bright red. Her voice was barely a whisper. Okay, brother. I got it. Seeing his sister come around, Zhou Lin's mood softened into something more complicated. He muttered under his breath. If that guy so much as touches you and doesn't take responsibility, I'll kick his ass. I don't know what happened. I went out drinking with my senior brother that night, and before I knew it, I'd had way too much. I vaguely remember being taken to a hotel to sleep it off. When I woke up the next morning, I turned my head and came face to face with Zhou Nansheng, so close it took my breath away. My whole body went rigid. Zhou Nansheng was sleeping next to me, the covers pulled up to her shoulders. Her long black hair spread out across the pillow like dark silk. Her lashes were long, fluttering faintly as she breathed softly and steadily. A loud buzz went off in my head. All the messy, fragmented memories from the night before came flooding back all at once. Drinking, clinking glasses, my senior brother's scheming grin, the dim lights in the hotel hallway, someone helping me into the room. She smelled nice, comforting. Then soft, warm hands unbuttoned my shirt and wiped me down with a warm towel. Someone murmured softly in my ear. I thought it was a dream, and my arms wrapped themselves around that slender waist on their own. She didn't pull away. If anything, she leaned in closer. Wait, it wasn't a dream? I shot upright, yanking the covers with me, and realized I was only shirtless. Zhou Nansheng was still fully clothed. I let out a huge sigh of relief. If word got out I'd slept with some girl while I was blackout drunk, I'd never live it down. The movement woke Zhou Nansheng up. When she saw me, she let out a sharp scream. Ah! She yelped and snatched the covers up, wrapping herself up like a burrito. Her big, expressive eyes were wide as saucers. Brother Fu Chun, you're awake? Nansheng. I looked at her, my expression complicated. Last night. Nothing happened last night. She cut me off, her pretty face flushing bright red as she stammered. My brother wanted me to make a move on you. But that wouldn't be fair to you. I just wiped you down, that's all. I didn't do anything. Zhou Nansheng, do everything above board. If I like someone, I'll pursue them openly. She clamped her mouth shut the second those last words slipped out. The room went quiet for 3 whole seconds. She burrowed back under the covers, her muffled voice coming from beneath them. Pretend you didn't hear that last part. I sat on the bed, my mind reeling. My senior brother had set both me and his own sister up. What the hell was even happening? Still, there was no denying Zhou Nansheng was beautiful. Her looks and figure were easily a cut above Shen Nian's. But I'd had a girlfriend before, and she was my senior brother's little sister, so I'd never really thought of her that way. But what guy doesn't appreciate a pretty girl? I'd stolen a glance or two now and then, just to look. That's just how guys are. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Every now and then our eyes would meet. She'd always look away, blushing. I just thought she was a shy kid back then. But looking at her flustered, embarrassed face now, there was no way she didn't have a crush on me. Nansheng. What? You said you'd pursue me openly. Well, it's daytime right now. Does this count as open? The covers shifted. She poked her face out, looking up at me timidly, but there was a smile in her eyes. Brother Fuchun, what? What are you saying? I don't get it. I grinned at her mischievously. You wiped me down last night. You got quite the eyeful. No way. I'm gonna charge interest for that. The next second, I pounced on her like a wolf. The girl yelped, startled out of her wits. No. Help! Mwahaha! Scream all you want. No one's coming to save you. I didn't actually do anything to her, of course. We just messed around and teased each other until she begged for mercy. After all that, the awkwardness between us completely melted away. In its place was this soft, unspoken tension, something almost tender. I got up and got dressed, a faint smile on my lips. If you don't have any plans this morning, I know this great breakfast place. Wanna go? She was still a little breathless, her cheeks pink, as she blinked those big dewy eyes at me. You're buying? She sat up, her hair all messy and tousled from our little tussle. Fine then. Since you're being so sincere about it, I guess I'll graciously let you buy me breakfast. As soon as she finished talking, she snickered and burst out laughing. She caught me staring at her bare legs and gave me a sharp glare. Then she got up and glided into the bathroom to wash up. Brother Fuchun, your phone kept ringing while you were asleep last night. I think it was your ex-girlfriend. Do you want to call her back? Zhou Nansheng's voice drifted out from the bathroom, perfectly neutral. Got it. I unlocked my phone. Sure enough, 99 plus missed calls, all from Shen Nian. And a wall of text messages. Starting from 11 last night, one after another, page after page. Fuchun, where are you? It's so late, why aren't you home? Why aren't you answering? Are you avoiding me on purpose? Fine, Fuchun. Real mature. I'm downstairs at your stupid company right now. The lights are off. You're not there? Where did you go? We've been together 5 years, you never stay out all night. Call me back. It's just an extra 300K for the bride price. Are you really breaking up with me over this? It's a human life. How can you be so cold? Fine, let's see who else would put up with you without me. Fuchun, you jerk. I didn't reply. I just locked the phone and put it down. I took Zhou Nansheng out for breakfast, then to the zoo, a haunted house, the amusement park. We hit just about every thrill ride there was. Her bright laughter and excited screams never stopped the whole time. The next day, I took her to look at a luxury downtown apartment. My senior brother and I had looked at it before we sold the company. Today we were just signing the papers and moving in. Being with Zhou Nansheng felt good. She was like a little songbird chattering non-stop. Her little pouts, her shy smiles, the way she looked up to me, her playful little jokes, it all made me feel giddy, like I was falling in love all over again. In the afternoon, I took her with me to move my stuff. Shen Nian would be at her art studio around then, so we'd avoid running into her. And I didn't have much to take, so I didn't need movers. I'd just grab the important stuff. The lease on the rental was almost up. Only an idiot would renew it. We were halfway through packing when the door clicked open. Shen Nian stood there in a green dress. When she saw me and Zhou Nansheng together, she froze completely. Fuchun. She said my name, her face dark, her fingers white-knuckling her purse. Why are you back? I glanced at her coldly, like she was a total stranger. Why did you bring Zhou Nansheng here? Zhou Nansheng was my senior brother's sister. She'd interned at the company before. Shen Nian used to bring me meals all the time, so they knew each other. Oh, so that's it. That's why you broke up with me out of nowhere. Did this little slut seduce you? You didn't come home for 2 days. You've been with her this whole time, haven't you? Shen Nian flew at her like a woman possessed, raising her hand to scratch Zhou Nansheng's face. Zhou Nansheng yelped and scrambled backward. Without thinking, I stepped in front of Zhou Nansheng and slapped Shen Nian hard across the face. Shen Nian, that's enough. What is wrong with you? The slap left her stunned. She stood there frozen, hand pressed to her burning red cheek. After several long seconds, she slowly turned to look at me. Her eyes were wide with disbelief, her voice shaking.
You
hit me? You threw the first punch. I stood in front of Jeo Nansheng, my jaw tight. Shen, Neon screamed. So what if I hit her? She's the one throwing herself at my boyfriend. Who's your boyfriend? I looked at her, my voice ice cold. Shen Nian, there's a limit to how much you can throw a fit. We broke up already. You were the one who ended it. Who I'm with is none of your business. And even if we hadn't broken up, am I not allowed to have female friends? Nansheng is my senior brother's little sister. Is it so wrong to look out for her? Figures. Someone with a dirty mind sees dirt everywhere they look. Shen Nian just stared, stunned by my words. She trembled all over, unable to get a single word out in her defense. After a long while she finally spoke. Fu-chun, I didn't mean it when I said we should break up. I still love you, I swear. But we've been together 5 whole years, and you wouldn't even add 300K to the bride price. I was just mad. I let out a bitter laugh. So you used breaking up as leverage to force me to pay 300K for your little childhood sweetheart's medical bills? Shen Neon went pale, struck speechless. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Shen Neon said nothing. Just then, ZY Joe appeared in the doorway. I smiled. Look, your little boy toy tracked you down here. Shen Nian turned and saw ZY Joe and froze. Who told you to come here? ZY Joe's face fell, and he put on that hurt, wronged look again. Sister Neon, you haven't answered my calls these past 2 days. I went to your studio this afternoon and you weren't there. I was worried about you. That's why I came. Shen Nian's tone turned cold. Leave now. I'll talk to you later. Sister Neon. Huizhou looked up at her with those big sad eyes like a puppy about to be abandoned. Shen Nian's eyes darkened and her voice sharpened with irritation. I said I'll help you and I will. Now go. Do you not understand plain Chinese? All the color drained from Huizhou's face. Fine, I'm leaving. I don't need your help. Okay? I don't want the 300K for treatment anymore. I ruined everything. I got in the way of your relationship. I won't get treatment. I'll just go die. Huizhou shot me one last venomous look, then ran off in despair. Shen Nian's face fell completely. It was like she forgot I was even there, forgot Jeo Nansheng was there. She turned and ran after him. Huizhou, wait, I didn't mean it like that. Jeo Nansheng and I stood there in the room, staring at each other. After we finished moving, I took Jeo Nansheng and my senior brother on a trip to a coastal town. The client company granted us a 1-month vacation, with reporting to headquarters required after the month ended. Naturally, we planned to make the most of the break to unwind. My senior brother was as carefree as ever. He'd brought along a college girl, sweet and innocent in looks, with a stunning figure, though overall she paled in comparison to Jeo Nansheng. Jeo Nansheng and the girl took photos and collected seashells by the shore, their bright laughter drifting over every now and then. My senior brother and I lounged in beach chairs sipping red wine. I raised my glass to clink with his, raising an eyebrow. Senior brother, I saw you at the business KTV the other day, and today you've got a college girl with you. You're really living it up, huh? He shifted slightly in his chair. Damn right I am. Now that I've got money, what kind of woman can I get? Honestly though, after that failed marriage, I've made my peace with it. I have no interest in getting married again. I've already got a son and a daughter. No need to find them a stepmother and make my own life miserable. He paused, a rare, earnest look crossing his face. Fu-chan, I'm being serious with you. Nansheng has never been a handful growing up. Top grades, sensible, kind-hearted. She doesn't drink, smoke, or go to nightclubs. She never even dated in college. My dad passed when she was 10, and Mom raised us both alone. I'm 10 years older than her. I've been more like half a father to her than just a brother. If you ever hurt her, I won't let you get away with it. I sat up straight, set down my glass, and looked him in the eye. Senior brother, do you really think I'm that kind of guy? A sea breeze drifted over, carrying the sharp, briny scent of the ocean. My senior brother studied me for a moment, smiled, and leaned back slowly in his chair. Nay, I trust you. But I'm saying this up front. If you ever wrong Nansheng even once, we're done as brothers. You can go your own way after that. Deal. After a while, he leaned in with a mysterious glint in his eye. Fu Chun, you know I hired a private investigator when I got divorced? I had some time on my hands these days, so I asked him to dig up dirt on that Zhuo guy. Turns out he's not even sick. He paused, leaning closer. He owes 300,000 yuan in gambling debts to an underground casino. They gave him a month to pay up. If he can't come up with the money, they'll break his leg. I froze. I'd never guessed the truth would be something like this. My senior brother held my gaze. You gonna tell your ex about this? I met his eyes evenly. Senior brother, do you think Shen Nian would believe me if I told her? Fair enough. He said nothing more, just raised his wine glass and clinked it against mine. Just then my phone rang abruptly. I stared at Shen Nian's name on the screen, hesitated for a few seconds, and answered. Her voice carried a faint weariness. Fu Chun, I know you're with Zhao Nansheng just to make me jealous. But I can't stand seeing you with another woman. Fine. You win. We won't add the extra 300,000 to the bride price. We'll still have the wedding at the end of the year. But you have to give me the 288,000 yuan. Bride price first. Weizhou really can't wait any longer. I'll chip in 12,000 myself. Is that good enough? I laughed bitterly at her entitled tone. I never would have imagined the gentle, sweet girl I once knew could turn so unreasonable. Wait, Shen Nian, are you out of your mind? We broke up already. What wedding? Saving Z? Weizhou is your problem, not mine. You're insane. With that, I hung up straight away and blocked her number. Finally, some peace and quiet. That evening, the four of us found a quiet bar and sat down. Zhou Nansheng sat beside me, pouring my drink for me unprompted, as sweet and dutiful as a little wife. Hey, hold on. My senior brother frowned and tapped the table. Fu Chun, come here. Swap seats with me. I looked up, confused. Why swap? I want to sit next to my sister, he said matter-of-factly. She used to sleep in the same bed as me when she was little. You two have known each other 5 minutes. Why is she pouring your drink and not mine? I couldn't help but laugh at his sudden bout of brotherly jealousy. Zhou Nansheng kicked her brother hard under the table, making him wince. If you keep teasing me, I'll tell everyone all the dumb stuff you did as a kid sneaking around. Your first girlfriend, everything. My senior brother went quiet at once. Fine. You're all grown up now. I'll let it slide. The college girl, ever perceptive, quickly refilled his glass. After a few more drinks, my senior brother spoke from the heart. Fu Chan, you're still young. Don't go lending that money to just anyone, and don't throw it at random investments. Stick to steady, low-risk financial products. It's hard to make money these days, but so easy to lose it. Play it smart, and you'll live a damn comfortable life. When he spoke, his eyes were clear and sober. Senior brother. I raised my glass and clinked it with his. I feel the exact same way. He nodded and tossed back the rest of his wine in one go. Fu Chan, let me tell you something. The worst thing isn't being poor. It's getting rich and letting it go to your head, thinking you're unstoppable. That every project will work out, that you can trust anyone. Listen to your big brother. We've been together all these years. I'd never steer you wrong. We chatted a little longer, then he went back to flirting with the college girl. Just then an unknown number called. I figured it was Shen Nian. I frowned and hung up straight away. A text popped up right after. Fu Chun, you jerk. You blocked me? What's this about the rent being due tomorrow? You didn't renew the lease? Where am I supposed to live? What kind of man are you? Fu Chun, enough with the silent treatment. I said we don't have to add the 300K to the bride price, isn't that enough? Grow up, will you? I texted back, Shen Nian, we broke up. Where you live is none of my business. Leave me alone. Then I blocked the number and locked my phone, smooth and efficient. That night, my senior brother shared a room with the college girl. Zhou Nansheng and I stayed in the other room. I showered first, then lay in bed scrolling through my phone. When Jo Nan-shung stepped out of the bathroom, I couldn't take my eyes off her. She was already breathtakingly beautiful. Wrapped only in a thin bath towel, she looked even more stunning. Delicate collarbones, skin as pale and smooth as snow. The towel hung loosely, as if it could slip off any second. Her long, shapely legs were on full display. Her hair was damp, her big dewy eyes shining. She was utterly devastatingly lovely. I stood up and before she could gasp in surprise, lifted her up and carried her to the bed. Jo Nan-shung clung tightly to my arm, her eyes wide and flustered, too shy to meet my heated gaze. I couldn't hold back any longer. I kissed her hard, her lips soft and sweet. I only pulled away when she was breathless. Her face was flushed, her eyes hazy, lips parted like she had more to say but couldn't find the words. Brother Fu-chun, I'm scared it'll hurt. Be gentle, okay? My mind went completely blank for a second. That night, moonlight spilled like water outside, soft and dreamlike. Inside, the air was warm and thick. It was well past midnight before I held the limp, sated Jo Nan-shung in my arms and drifted off to sleep. Half a month later, I'd just gotten off the plane when my mom called. Mom, Fu-chun, where are you? Get home right now. My mom sounded furious and frantic. What's going on with you and Nyanyan? She showed up at the door first thing this morning saying your company got sold to Tenjima Group for 80 million, and you dumped her right after. She can't get a hold of you. She's been crying and carrying on here. Your dad's blood pressure's through the roof. I gripped my phone tight, a sharp throb pulsing at my temples. Mom, I'm on my way. Jo Nan-shung caught up with her suitcase behind me. She saw my dark expression and didn't ask questions, just walked quietly beside me, waiting. What's wrong? My senior brother walked over with the college girl. The smile dropped from his face when he saw mine. Something happened? I forced a casual tone. Nothing. My mom misses me, wants me to come home for a visit. My senior brother gave me a long, knowing look. We'd spent 5 years side by side. He knew me better than anyone. He could tell I wasn't telling the whole truth, that I didn't want to drag them into it and make things messier. All right. I'll take the girls back. Call me if you need anything. Your big brother's always on your side, no matter what. Got it. I turned and hugged Jo Nan-shung. Go back with your brother for now. I'll come find you later. She nodded obediently. Okay, brother Fu-chun. I sat in the back of the taxi, frowning. Why would Shen Neon suddenly show up at my parents' house making a scene? How did she find out about the Tengma acquisition? I hadn't told a soul, and my senior brother had kept it quiet too. I had a pretty good idea what had happened. I pulled up Tengma Group's official website. Sure enough, they'd publicly released the acquisition details. Tenjima Group acquires 90% stake in Orange Studio for 80 million yuan. Half an hour later, I arrived at my parents' place. Shen Nian was sitting on the floor by the door, her hair messy, her eyes red and puffy. My mom stood by the dining table, clutching her phone tight, looking helpless. My dad sat on the living room sofa, eyes closed, massaging his temples. An open bottle of blood pressure medication sat on the coffee table. When Shen Nian saw me, she jumped to her feet so fast she stumbled, nearly losing her balance. Fu-chun. She grabbed my hand tight. Fu-chun, you're finally back. Why have you been avoiding me? I called. You blocked me. I tried a new number. You blocked that too. I couldn't find you anywhere, so I had to come here. My face darkened with rage. I wrenched my hand free of her grip. Shen Nian, what is wrong with you? We broke up a long time ago. What are you still making a scene about? The force of my shove sent her stumbling backward until her back hit the wall. She froze for a second, then tears burst from her eyes. Fu-chun. Her voice was hoarse, thick with sobs. You bastard. You sold the company for 80 million. You must have gotten at least 40 million, and you hid it from me? I stayed with you for 5 whole years. I never looked down on you when you were poor. I took care of you when you were busy. Now that you're rich, you just dump me? You're ungrateful. You're not even human. I said nothing. I just pulled out my phone and played the recording I'd saved. Shen Nian's angry voice came through loud and clear. Fu-chun, It's just an extra 300,000 for Waijo's treatment. You can afford it, can't you? Can't you just be the bigger person? Do you have to drive Yujo to his death? Let me tell you, you will pay that money, whether you want to or not. Otherwise the wedding's off. We're done. Don't act like you're something special. I can do better without you. Don't you dare come crawling back to me later. Mom, Yujo, let's go. When the recording ended, the living room fell dead silent. Shen Yan leaned against the wall, her face drained of color. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. My mom stood by the dining table, her expression complicated. My dad opened his eyes on the sofa, glanced at me, then at Shen Yan, then picked up his teacup and took a slow sip. He said nothing. I let out a cold laugh. Shen Yan, you were the one who broke up with me. You were the one who said you could do better without me. You told me never to come crawling back. I pointed at her, my voice rising sharply. So tell me, what gives you the right to come here and interrogate me? Shen Yan went rigid. Panic flashed across her face the next second. She crawled forward, reaching for me again. Anoekin, I was just angry. I didn't mean it. How could you take it seriously? I was just trying to make you pay for Weijo's treatment. Why can't you understand? I looked down at her and scoffed. Understand? Shen Yan, if my childhood sweetheart got sick, and I asked you to pay 300,000 yuan for her treatment, would you do it? She answered without thinking. Of course not. Why would I pay for your childhood sweetheart's illness? The second the words left her mouth, she froze. There. You said it yourself. I looked at her mockingly. You say why should you pay? Then why should I pay for yours? Shen Yan's mouth hung open. Her face was as pale as paper. He's different. I crouched down and stared her right in the eye. So your little childhood sweetheart is worth 300,000, but mine isn't. Shen Yan, be honest with yourself. Have I ever wronged you in these 5 years? When your mom was in the hospital and you said you couldn't take time off work, I stayed there and took care of her for a whole week. All the fancy cigarettes and liquor your dad drinks. Who bought them? I've never even bought that kind of thing for my own dad. When your relatives came to visit, I was their tour guide and their driver. Who paid for everything? When your little childhood sweetheart got sick and you ran to the hospital every other day, did I ever say a word about it? Even when that lousy company of mine wasn't making a cent for 5 years, did I ever stop sending you money? You make 6,500 a month yourself. Did I ever ask you to spend a single cent of it on us? She said nothing. She bit down hard on her lip and finally tears spilled over, rolling down her gaunt cheeks and dripping onto her clenched fists. And now you're mad I didn't tell you about selling the company? I stood up, my eyes full of disappointment. Let me ask you something. The day I got the 40 million, the first thing I wanted to do was tell you. But when I got home, do you know what you said? You said we needed to add 300,000 to the bride price for your childhood sweetheart's medical bills. And if I didn't pay, we were done. Shen Yan, I really wanted to build a life with you. But before I could even say a word, you were already there holding that 300,000 over my head. Shen Yan trembled violently. She shook her head through her tears, sobbing. No, Ekin, I didn't know. I looked at her. Didn't know what? Ekin, I didn't know you were going to tell me that day. She looked up at me through teary eyes, full of regret and panic. Why didn't you tell me sooner? If you'd just told me, I never would have. Never would have what? I asked her. Never asked for the 300,000? Her mouth opened. She tried to nod, but couldn't force the words out, because she knew she would have. Shen Yan, even if I'd told you right away that I had 40 million. You would have just thought, he's so rich, what's an extra 300,000? I stared at her. You came to my parents' house making a scene because you found out about the 40 million. What if you hadn't found out? What if my lousy company really had gone under? Would you still be here right now? Shen Yan had no answer. Her face went ashen. I knew she wouldn't. I'd had enough. I hauled her to her feet and dragged her toward the door. Get out. Get out of my house. If you ever bother my parents again, I'll call the police. Shen Yan, don't make me lose every last bit of respect I had for you. I shoved her. outside and slammed the door shut hard. Her broken sobs echoed from the other side. They faded slowly over the next half hour, until there was silence at last. I stayed for lunch with my parents that afternoon. I paid them back the retirement money they'd lent me, and transferred more on top of that. I also told them about Jie Nansheng. Before I left, I warned them, if Shen Yan dared come around again, call the police immediately. A week later, my senior brother and I led the whole studio team to report for duty at Tengma Group. The new office was over 5 times the size of our old one. The team had doubled in size too. My senior brother and I each got a huge fancy private office. Work was a lot easier now. No more all-nighters every other day like before. I'd only been there 2 days when I saw Shen Nian in the parking lot after work. My face darkened at once. This woman just wouldn't go away. She tracked me all the way here. It was rush hour, and the place was full of coworkers. I was still new here. I didn't want to make a scene. I pulled her into a corner and said through gritted teeth, Shen Nian, haven't you had enough? What do you want from me? She looked even more haggard than the last time I'd seen her. She wore a pale gray trench coat and her dark circles were terrible. She reached for me, her eyes full of pleading. Ekin, I'm sorry. I've thought about it so much. I know I was wrong. You just misunderstood me and Weizhou, didn't you? That's why you're treating me like this. I came here to explain. There's nothing between me and Weizhou, nothing at all. We're completely innocent. Will you stop being mad at me, please? I shook her off roughly. Shen Nian, get this through your head. We broke up. Whether you have something going on with him is none of my business. We're done. Over. Do you understand? Shen. Nian shook her head wildly, tears spilling over again. No, you wouldn't. You never used to treat me like this. You must have the wrong idea, Ekin. After all these years together, I don't believe you can just throw it all away like that. You used to love me so much, Mom and I are already raising the money for Weizhou ourselves. I don't want your money anymore. Let's not break up. Let's get married. I don't want a bride price anymore, okay? Nothing. I just want to marry you. Coworkers were starting to stare. For a second I just felt tired. You say you don't want a bride price, that you just want to marry me. I looked at her coldly. But tell me, Shen Yan, why do you want to marry me? Because you actually love me for who I am? Or because you found out I have 40 million? Her mouth opened and closed. Her lips trembled. The word I stuck in her throat and she couldn't finish the sentence. She couldn't say it. I laughed bitterly. Shen Nian, did it ever occur to you that Weizhou might not even be sick? Shen Nian's head snapped up. What's that supposed to mean? I shrugged. Nothing. Just a thought. What if he's not sick at all? What if he's just scamming you for money? Impossible. She stood there, eyes wide with suppressed anger. Weizhou has always been kind and sensible. He would never lie to me. Ekin, I know you don't like Weizhou, but how can you say something like that? I looked at her calmly. There, see? Between me and Weizhou, you'll always believe him. Then why the hell are you here begging me to take you back? Shen Nian panicked. She grabbed at my sleeve. No, Ekin, that's not what I meant. I shoved her away hard, pointing a finger in her face. Get lost. Don't make me slap you in front of all these people. The push sent her stumbling backward until her back hit the gray concrete pillar of the parking garage. Her face went white, and tears gushed from her eyes. I didn't spare her another glance. I turned and walked away. My senior brother and Jie Nansheng were waiting by my car. When I got close, my senior brother nodded toward Shen Nian's distraught figure. Trouble with the ex again? Hey, next time she shows up, just tell her you don't love her anymore. Works every time. Guarantee she'll leave you alone after that. I gave him a dubious look. Really? He clapped me hard on the shoulder. Works every time. That's how it goes in all the web novels. Trust your big brother. I wouldn't lie to you. I nodded. Got it. Jie Nansheng rolled her eyes at her brother. You two really have too many tricks up your sleeves. She climbed into the passenger seat first. I pulled open the driver's door, hit the gas, and sped away. Jie Nansheng moved into my luxury downtown apartment. We settled into a cozy, shamelessly affectionate life together. Lately, she'd gotten completely hooked on being close to me, wishing she could stick to my side 48 hours a day. She even hated being apart from me when we showered. Finally, the weekend rolled around and we could finally take a break. I just reached the ground floor of my apartment building when I spotted Shen Nian again. She'd lost a drastic amount of weight, her eye sockets sunken deep. She looked like a strong gust of wind could knock her right over. The second she saw me, her eyes lit up and she dropped to her knees with a heavy thud. Like a drowning person clinging to their last lifeline, she grabbed tight to the leg of my pants and refused to let go. Her whole body shook with sobs. Ekin, I'm sorry, I really know I was wrong. Huizhou is nothing but a bastard. He scammed me and my mom out of 300,000 yuan. Then he said it wasn't enough. So mom and I took out a 200,000 loan to lend him more. I have nothing left. ACHEN. You can't just abandon me. I stared at the face I'd once been utterly infatuated with. Now all I felt was weariness and disgust. Shen Nian, I warned you. You just wouldn't listen. You brought this on yourself. Why should I lift a finger to help you? Shen Nian gripped harder, her nails digging almost into my skin. Ekin, it's all my fault. You're the only one I've ever loved. I never thought Huizhou would lie to me. I just don't know what to do anymore. Double quotes Ekin. I kicked her away in disgust, my voice cold as ice. Shen Nian, you chose this path yourself. You walked it all the way to the end and now you come crying back to me? What gives you the right? Besides, I don't love you anymore. At those words, Shen Nian looked as if she'd been struck by lightning. She froze completely on the spot. After a long while she slowly lifted her head. The light in her eyes faded little by little. All that remained was endless regret and despair. She stood up in a daze and walked slowly away, muttering to herself. Ha! You don't love me anymore? How could you stop loving me? Hey, I'm so stupid. I threw away the person who loved me most. I could have been so happy. Haha, I'm such an idiot. I watched her walk farther and farther away until she vanished completely into the crowd. I felt not a single ripple of emotion in my heart. She had chosen this path herself, hadn't she? Later I heard Shen Nian had called the police. Huizhou was arrested not long after. Shen Nian and her mother refused to sign a letter of forgiveness. Huizhou was convicted of fraud for an exceptionally large sum and sentenced to 11 years in prison. Shen Nian moved back to the countryside with her mother. Word had it she'd fallen into depression. After that I had no interest in hearing any more about her. A good ex should be as good as dead. That's how it should be. 2 years later, Jiao Nanshang and I got married. She later gave birth to a son and a daughter. We walked hand in hand through the long years, growing old together. Peaceful, happy, and content. This story serves as a sobering reminder. Blurred boundaries are fatal to intimate relationships. And marriage should never be used as a chip to help outsiders. The heroine stayed with the hero through his hard entrepreneurial years, seeming to share weal and woe. Yet when discussing marriage, she arbitrarily raised the bride price and threatened to break up, only to cover her childhood friend's gambling debts. She always trusted outsiders blindly and drained her partner's sincerity. When the scam came to light and she tried to save the relationship, in desperation, it was already too late. Love cannot withstand calculation, and character reveals itself most clearly when interests are at stake. When choosing a partner, we must stick to principles and tell right from wrong, never taking others' efforts for granted. Only sincerity and mutual respect can sustain long-lasting and stable happiness.